Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to knit this beautiful and super soft scarf. Mine got pretty long. I knitted until it was about 5 feet without the tassels, and it's pretty wide and super soft. This is how the back side looks like, and this is the front, and it's just a 2-row repeat. Once you get the hang out of it, it's so much fun to knit, and I really love those colors. I hope you can see it here. It's just really soft and so pretty. And now I will show you what we need and how to knit this beautiful scarf. Today I'm using 8mm knitting needles. Those are US 11th. You will also need a pair of scissors, a darning needle, a crochet hook to attach the tassels. I just used a random size, mine is a 5mm, and the yarn I'm using today is Alize Maxi Batik. I really love those colors. It's such a soft and beautiful yarn. I used almost 3.5 skeins, so you will need 4. This is a 79% acrylic yarn and 25% wool, and I really like it. The colors are so beautiful. Of course, there are many different colors. And then I used the Alize Superlana Maxi in a different color for the tassels, but you could of course use the same yarn, so you will need 4 full skeins of yarn. And now let's get started. For this pattern, you will need to cast on an uneven number of stitches. So I'm going to cast on 27. So just grab the yarn, insert from the left to the right. This is the way I'm casting on my stitches. Of course, if you know a different way, do it the way you're comfortable with. And like I said, I'm going to cast on 27 stitches for my scarf. Don't pull the stitches too tight. Make sure they're nice and loose. Here are my 27 stitches, and this pattern is a 2-row repeat. So we will start with the first row. We will take the yarn to the front as to purl, and we will just slip it off. So insert your needle from the right to the left. Yarn is in the front, and just take it off. The first 2 stitches are always our border stitch. So the first one we slip purlwise, and the second one we are going to knit. So this is for our border. Now we will start with a knit stitch. So knit stitch. Now put the yarn to the front, and we have the loop on the needle, so we will slip this off. Now make a knit stitch, knit 1. Now grab the yarn to the front with the yarn on top, and we will slip those 2 off. So just slip them off. Next one again is a knit stitch. Now yarn over, insert like as to purl, and just slip off. The next one again is a normal knit stitch. Again, yarn over, as like to purl, and take it off. And again, a knit stitch. Now yarn over. We have both on the needle as to purl and slip. Knit 1, and again yarn to the front as to purl and slip. And you will repeat this all the way until you reach your last 2 stitches, and then I show you how to do the border stitch. Again, those last 2 are always our border. So just keep repeating this all the way along. I'm almost here to the end. I have 3 stitches left, so we will knit 1. And now again, insert like to purl, but we will just slip it off. So the yarn is in the front, insert like you would purl 1, but pull the yarn to the front and just slip off. And the last one is always a knit stitch. So this is our first row repeat. Now for row 2, like I said, always the first 2 stitches are always the same because those are our border stitches. So just slip 1 purlwise and then knit 1. So this is our border. Here we have a purl stitch. You can see this on this little bubble here in the front. So we will purl that stitch. Now we have those 2 loops. The yarn over one we will insert under both loops and knit them 2 together. Again, the next one, you can see the little bubble here is a purl stitch. So we will just purl. Now is our yarn over, we will insert under both loops and knit. And this is our repeat. So purl 1, the next 2 with the yarn over, knit. Again, next one is a purl stitch, so we will purl it, and the next 2 together with the yarn over. And just keep repeating this all the way until you reach your last 2 stitches. I'm almost here to the end. I have 3 stitches left, so we will purl. And now the yarn is in the front. We will insert like to purl, but we will just slip it off. And the last one is always a knit stitch. And those are the 2 repeat rows. We will repeat over and over until we reach the length we need for our scarf. So again, let's repeat row 1. We will put the yarn to the front as like to purl, slip it off. And our second one is always a knit stitch. Now we have a knit stitch right here, so we will knit. And now here is our purl stitch from the previous row. So we will yarn over, insert as like to purl, and pull it off. Again, next one is a knit stitch. Now again, yarn over, insert like to purl, and take it off. Next one is a knit stitch. And again, yarn in the front, let's like to purl and take it off. Then a knit one, again, insert is like to purl, take it off, and knit one. Just keep repeating this all the way until you reach the last 2 stitches. When you see that here you have a purl with this little bubble in the front, we will always slip 1 with the yarn over. And here is our knit stitch, so we will always knit. Slip 1, knit 1. Just keep repeating this all the way until you reach your last 2 stitches. almost here to the end. So we have our knit stitch, and here are the last two. So again, we put the yarn in the front and slip one purlwise, and the last one is always a knit stitch. And this was our first row repeat. Here is our front side, and now it's time for the second row. Just remember, the first two stitches are always for the border, so we will slip one purlwise. The yarn is in the front, and the next one is a knit stitch. Now we have a purl stitch, so we will purl this one, and again, here is our yarn over. We will go under both loops and knit one. Again, a purl stitch, and the next knit them together, the two loops. Again, here's our purl stitch, so we will purl the next one with the yarn over, we knit, purl one, and again those two, knit one. And here you can slowly see our pattern. Just keep repeating this until you reach your last two stitches, and I will show you one more time how to do the last two for our border. I'm almost to the end. I have 3 stitches left, so I will purl one, and the last two I will put the yarn to the front like to purl, just slip it off, and the last one is a knit stitch. And just keep repeating those 2 rows until you reach your desired length of your scarf. So I repeated those 2 rows over and over, and now my scarf is about 5 feet long. This is the perfect length for me. Of course, you can make it even longer. This is totally up to you. I really love those colors, and the scarf is super soft. Now we have to finish off, and I will show you how to do that. So we will repeat row 1 on the stitches, so slip one purlwise and knit the next one. We always need 2 stitches on our needle. Now grab the first stitch and pull it over the second one. Just take your time, just make sure you're not going to lose your stitch. This is why I'm doing it very carefully. Next one is a purl stitch, so I will make a purl stitch. And again, we have 2 stitches on the needle. Now grab the first one and pull it over the first. If you knit too tight, like I did, it's a little bit harder to pull, so just take your time. The next stitch, we will knit just like we did before. So just a knit stitch, and again, grab the first stitch and pull it over, and keep repeating this until you reach your last stitch. So I'm here at the end, and I have 2 stitches left, and we will do exactly the same thing. Pull the first one over the second one, just slowly, and we have 1 loop left. Now we can grab our scissors and cut the yarn. I always like to leave it a little bit longer. Now pull the knitting needles out and pull the yarn through the loop, and we are done. This is what it looks like, and what I'm going to do now is sew in the yarn end and attach my tassels. To sew in the yarn end, I will grab my darning needle, pull the yarn through, and I will, this is the front side and this is the back, so I'm going to hide the yarn tail on my back side. So I'll go from the front to the back, pull the yarn through, just like this. And now I just find some stitches here from my knit stitches, and I will go round and round and pull through. Of course, if you learned any other way to sew in the yarn ends, do as you know, but this is how I'm going to do it. And that way the yarn is hidden in our stitches. So I will repeat this, go through, pull through, and through a couple more times. And then I'm going to cut the yarn, just like this. Now I grab my scissors and cut the yarn. The next thing I'm going to do is to cut some yarn strength for my tassels. I'm going to attach them to the scarf. You can also leave it without tassels. It's totally up to you. So I'm using a different color, but you could of course use the same yarn. So I will always cut the length I want. We will fold it in half and attach it to our scarf, and I'm going to use a crochet hook for that. So here I have my 5mm crochet hook. I just grabbed a random one, and I will grab 2 yarn strength I have here, and we will pull them through the knit stitches. So turn your work the way you can see the stitches really good. So here's the front side and my knit stitch. I will fold the yarn in half, pull both through. We created a loop. Go through with your fingers, pull and pull tight. And this is all we have to do. Like I said, I'm only going to attach my tassels in the knit stitches. I think it looks prettier, but of course you can attach them however you would like. So again, into the knit stitch, go through with your crochet hook, pull the yarn, create a loop, insert your fingers and pull the yarn. And I will repeat this all the way along, and of course on the other side as well. I attach my tassels, and like you can see, some are not even. So what I'm going to do is just lay them flat on the ground. It's easier. And then I'm just going to grab big scissors and cut them all the same length. And I will do this on both sides. And then we are done. And we are done. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how to knit this super easy and beautiful scarf. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great time knitting, and I hope to see you back soon. Bye.